You're in the middle of a conversation, and suddenly you become aware of yourself, how you're standing, how your voice sounds, what you just said. And in that moment, something breaks. Your words slow down, your mind goes blank, and now you're not just talking anymore, you're watching yourself talk. So the question isn't why you feel awkward, it's why you can't stop observing yourself while it's happening. At first, everything feels normal. You're listening, responding. There's a natural rhythm. Then something shifts. Maybe you say something slightly off, or there's a pause that feels a bit too long, and suddenly your attention turns inward. You start noticing details. Did that sound weird? Where do I put my hands? Am I making enough eye contact? And the more you notice, the more unnatural everything feels. Your voice becomes less fluid. Your thoughts feel delayed. Even your facial expressions feel forced. It's like you've stepped out of the conversation and into your own head, watching, monitoring, adjusting. And now every sentence feels like a performance. So instead of being present, you're managing an image, and that creates a strange loop. The more you try to appear natural, the less natural you feel. The more you try to fix your behavior, the more rigid it becomes. Afterward, it doesn't stop. You replay the interaction, analyzing every detail, rewriting what you should have said. And slowly, you start believing something. That's just how I am. I'm awkward. I'm bad at socializing. But here's the quiet contradiction. You weren't always like this. So what changed? You're not bad at socializing. You're interrupting it. Because social behavior isn't designed to be controlled in real time. It's automatic, like walking, like breathing. But at some point, your brain decided it wasn't safe to leave it on autopilot, so it stepped in, not to make you worse, but to make you more accurate, more acceptable, more aligned with how you think you should be perceived. So now, instead of just interacting, you're supervising yourself, constantly. And that supervision is what's creating the friction, not because you lack skill, but because you're trying to control something that only works when it's not controlled. So the real issue isn't your ability, it's where your attention goes. And once you see that, the next question becomes unavoidable. What is your brain actually doing in that moment? Your brain has limited attention. It can't fully focus on two complex tasks at once. And social interaction is one of the most complex tasks it performs. It involves timing, tone, facial cues, memory, emotion, all happening simultaneously. Normally, this runs on automatic processing, but when self-awareness spikes, your brain shifts into self-monitoring mode. This activates your internal evaluation system. It starts asking, how am I coming across? Is this appropriate? What should I say next? And here's the problem. That system uses the same mental resources you need to actually have the conversation. So now you're splitting your attention. Part of you is trying to engage, the other part is trying to observe and correct. It's like trying to dance while watching yourself in a mirror and correcting every step in real time. The more you watch, the more you hesitate. The more you hesitate, the less natural it feels. This is called attentional interference. Your performance drops not because you lack ability, but because your attention is in the wrong place. And over time, your brain associates social situations with this internal pressure, so it prepares in advance. It becomes hyper-aware before anything even happens. And that's why it feels automatic now, not because it's who you are, but because it's what your brain practiced. So the real shift isn't be more confident, it's something much more specific. It's learning how to move your attention out of yourself and back into the moment. But how do you do that without forcing it? 1. Anchor your attention externally. What to do? Focus on the other person's words, tone, and expressions. Why it works? Shifting attention outward reduces self-monitoring and reactivates automatic social processing. Example, instead of thinking, how am I sounding? You focus on, what are they actually saying right now? 2. Allow imperfect responses. What to do? Let yourself respond without fully editing first. Why it works? This reduces cognitive load and restores natural conversational flow. Example, you answer a question without rehearsing it in your head beforehand, even if it's not perfect. 3. Notice the moment you leave the conversation. What to do? Catch the exact moment your attention turns inward. Why it works? Awareness of the shift helps interrupt the automatic loop. Example, mid-conversation you think, I'm watching myself again. That recognition alone begins to break the cycle. 4. Slow down your internal urgency. What to do? Remind yourself that there's no rush to respond perfectly. Why it works? Reducing pressure lowers self-monitoring intensity and frees up cognitive resources. Example, instead of filling every silence, you allow a brief pause without panicking. 5. Treat conversations as shared space, not performance. What to do? Shift your mindset from being evaluated to participating. Why it works? This reframes the interaction from self-focused to connection-focused. Example, you stop trying to do well and start trying to be present. There's a simple way to understand all of this. Your attention is like a spotlight. Where it points determines what your brain prioritizes. Right now, that spotlight is often pointed at yourself, your voice, your behavior, your image, and that turns a natural process into a controlled one. But social interaction doesn't work under a microscope. It works in motion, in flow. So the shift isn't about becoming better, it's about redirecting the spotlight away from yourself and back into the space between you and the other person, because that's where the conversation actually lives. You don't need to fix how you act. You need to stop watching yourself act, because the version of you that feels natural already exists. It just doesn't show up when it's being monitored. So maybe the next time you feel that shift, you don't fight it. You don't analyze it. You just gently move your attention back outward and let the moment carry you a little further than usual. Not perfectly, just a little less observed.